Alright, so this is a video reflection, and just gonna be a bit of rambling about my thoughts on life. One peculiarity for this video is that I'm filming this at my used to be middle school. I don't know if you can see this, but this is where I graduated from about a year and a half ago now. Yeah. Right now it's a bit past midnight, so it's in the proper Jasperdale video reflection manner, where I always film after the day's over. As much as I would like my video reflections to be personal and contain my worries and thoughts and whatnot, that's really not possible, mainly because it's public and I share it with everybody, so that's really not possible. I have to be as vague as possible about my worries and hardships. Granted, they aren't that numerous, but I do have to be vague and tread lightly around them, so that's quite annoying. But yes, so I think, Jasper, if you're going to see this in the future, you're going to know what I mean by... Okay, so I'll sum it up in one sentence. You are willing to take punishment for what you have done. But I have no intent whatsoever to... What was it? What was the word? To repent. That's right. Why? Because I don't think I did anything wrong. You know, there's a saying, I believe it's either from Fahrenheit 451 or 1984, where what you read or don't read affects what you say. No, it was from something else entirely, but the quote was about, if someone regulates what you can say, then they can regulate what you think. So the point here being, yeah, I did something wrong technically according to the rules of the school. Fine. Give me penalty points, give me the punishment. I'll take it. But if you want me to repent and change my thoughts and change my morals, ideals, and ethics, that's not going to happen. Okay? I don't care what you do to me. I don't care what you try to persuade me with or what stick you try to throw at. You're not going to change what I think. That's just not going to happen. Because thought is mine own. And you have no motherfucking right to challenge that. Is the first tangent that I wanted to start off with. And that visceral curse word was definitely planned and intentional, because I'm upset and annoyed, and let's just put it this way. I am not willing to go gently into that good night. Or at least that's my thoughts. My actions have to defer because of circumstances, and that's annoying. And it's enraging, frankly. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is about meaning in life. What is your meaning in life? Why do you live? I was riding the bike around Ilsan because currently it's like a day after midterms, and everyone's sort of having their weekend off to relax, play with friends, do meetups and whatnots. So yeah, the way I relax is I ride on a bike and I go around the city looking at things. And the topic of meaning of life came up when I was looking at people in the park while sitting on a bench. Now, this bench had a sort of covering roof so that it could protect you from rain. And it also had, obviously, supporting pillars to support the ceiling, right? So it created an effect of where, when I was sitting in the bench, the columns and the supporting beams and the ceiling all together created a small theater for me to observe all the passerbys. And I saw, I believe, most of life within those 30 minutes. I saw the old hobble around. I saw the young, loud, noisy, walking around. I saw the middle-aged with their worries and concerns yapping about. I saw children running around, falling over. I saw lovers. I saw people who had crushes. I saw friends. And I saw those who were desperate. And that got me thinking on the topic of meaning of life. What is someone's meaning of life? Well, I think it's defined by whatever they think. I don't think anyone should predetermine your meaning of life. I think your meaning of life is like your lifeline. Okay? It's like your your king in chess. It's your mental heart. Now, to put that into perspective, it goes like this. If you have created a meaning, if you've defined a meaning for your life, let's say that could be anything. It could be love, it could be happiness. I'm just going with vague ideas, but it could be anything really. Once you've defined your meaning of life, that is now your meaning of life, and I mean that literally. If someone denies that meaning, if someone disvalues it, if someone slanders it, they directly slander, disvalue your life. If someone totally breaks your meaning, they shatter it, they deny it, they kill you. Okay? Meaning of life isn't just some kind of life goal that you can just set. It's not some New Year's resolution. Your meaning of life is what you live for, the reason you live. If someone disvalues that, they disvalue your existence, is what I think. I think when you're defining or when you're determining your own meaning of life, you should be incredibly careful. This isn't only because you have to protect it with your last breath. It's because you have to live with it. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's say your meaning of life is enforcing justice. That is a very big and heavy meaning of life. If you live with that on your shoulders, you're never going to feel fulfilled. No matter what you do, there's always going to be unjust people. There's always going to be evil, in your eyes, of course, present in the world. Your life meaning is what makes but also breaks you. If you can't fulfill your life meaning, well then it makes your life unsatisfying. It makes it tiresome and you get burnt out. Your life meaning shouldn't be a goal that you can accomplish, sure. It's more like a passive state of action, passive state of thought, passive mode of thought. Yet it still has to be something that you can accomplish. You can't be in a passive state of enforcing justice. I mean, you can, technically, I guess, if you were like, I don't know, the President of America. But, kidding, of course. But that's really not possible for most people. And even for the president, it's only a temporary state. So what I'm trying to get at is you should set your life meaning to something that you can accomplish or grasp. The second thing is you shouldn't choose a life meaning. You shouldn't choose your life meaning just because someone else thought a meaning of life was cool, or you were just, quote, inspired by someone else's mode of life. What that means is, okay, I'll give you an example. My school, I think it's here, yeah. My school, KMLA, our motto is study for the sake of studying and not for the sake of personal gain. That could be a life meaning, right? That could be a meaning of life. Now, let's say a student who was really interested in KMLA applied, got in, and was really excited for this motto. And so she took it up as her own life meaning. Now, that's not really as much of a problem as getting a life meaning that's over-encumbering. But it's still a problem because, as I mentioned, you have to protect your life meaning with everything that you've got, okay? Because it is your life. If your life meaning gets denied, your life is denied. Everything you've done so far is going to seem meaningless, okay? I'm going to be surprised if you don't commit suicide, because that's how serious and severe that is, okay? And when I say protect, I mean protect logically, but that doesn't mean protect from other people. You can't influence what other people think. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. The only person that you have to protect your life meaning from, and you have to prove and give evidence for, is yourself. As long as you aren't shaking and you're sturdy and you believe in your life meaning, no problem. But if you chose a life meaning that you didn't think of for a long time, you didn't ponder, and you just took because you were, quote, inspired by it, and it was made by someone else, and you didn't go through the same deep thinking processes as they did when they chose that life meaning, then when any outsider or extensive force or external force gives you criticism, it's going to shake the very foundation of your life. You are going to question your life meaning relentlessly. And that's not a good thing, okay? You should have thought of your life meaning. You should have pondered it for a very long time before you define it. Because you're going to have to protect it from yourself and your doubts all the time. Okay? So you have to come to a truce to yourself, because at the end of the day, no matter how famous the person is, no matter how great an accomplishment that they've achieved during their lives, it's not going to persuade yourself, and you know that best. So that's number 2. Don't choose your life meaning rashly. Choose it after thinking carefully, overthinking it, and pondering about it. It is, after all, your life. And then the last point I want to make is clashes. When you're living, you're going to encounter, and this is inevitable, someone with a different mode of life or different meaning of life. What I mean by that is simple. Let's say someone's life meaning is enforcing justice, as I mentioned. But then we also have someone else whose life meaning is, I don't know, something like enjoying murder, which is obviously evil, right? They get happiness from murdering people, and that's their life meaning, which we don't understand, and we can't, I mean, most people can't understand. But if it's true, then it's true, right? What can we do about it? And that's when clashes happen. Clashes are when two different modes of life, I've given you a very drastic example, but clashes are when two people with very drastically different meanings of life encounter each other. And it isn't really a problem until they realize that their life meanings are totally opposite and confronting for each other. Once they realize that, then they're going to take one of three, no, it's actually just one. They're going to try to disvalue, discredit, dismerit, and ultimately deny the other person's life meaning, because it's the polar opposite of what they live for. If they don't deny the other person's meaning of life, they in turn deny their own meaning of life. You see where I'm getting at? So the best solution would be to just try not to encounter them. Let's say, following on the example, that your meaning of life was to enforce justice, but you weren't the president of America. So then it would probably not be the smartest idea to go to, I don't know, Mexico, to the drug trafficking guys and try to enforce justice, right? Because everybody is going to disagree with you and try to deny your life, maybe physically even. So, best way is to not encounter them, because there are 88 billion people in this earth, and you're definitely not going to meet most of them. So, the best way is to just not encounter them, but we all know that's not always possible. So, when you do encounter them, the best way is to act neutrally, right? Without revealing your meaning of life. But if that's not possible because your meaning of life is something active like enforcing justice, well, then the last thing I gotta tell you is kill them. I mean, not physically, I don't mean murder, but I mean deny their meaning of life completely. That's the only way you're going to protect your own. Deny them. It might sound rash, and it is. It might sound brutal, and it definitely is. But it's better than having your own life denied. Okay? Now, the fourth, actually this is the final, I'm really sorry. I organized this, but I'm not really looking at a script, so mind the disorientation. The fourth point, and the last really, I want to make is simple. It's what happens when inside your mind you have two different meanings of life. Your meaning of life is not singular, it's plural. So you have multiple meanings of life, and for many people this is the case, right? You live for happiness, but you also live for love. You also maybe live for justice. For many cases this is the case. So following on the example of living for with someone with the life meaning of enforcing justice, but let's say they also, one of their other life meanings is enjoying love and caring for family. Okay? A moral clash could happen if his son, I'm going to say he because I said the president of America, and most of the time they're male. So let's say his son committed some kind of crime, serious one. That is a moral dilemma, right? Because what do? You have two different meanings of life, but they're clashing inside of you. If you turn a blind eye, well, then you lose your meaning of enforcing justice. If you, I don't know, arrest your son, that's disvaluing your life meaning of your caring for your family, because he's probably going to go to jail, right? So yeah, anyway, at the end of the day, there's a phone call here, right? My mother's calling because it's late and I'm outside and I haven't notified her of my existence. But at the end of the day, what I want to talk about is life meaning. It's hard, but you should try to find one on your own, ponder about it, and keep away from others who have different life meanings. And if you do encounter them, kill their life meaning before they kill yours or deny yours. Then once you're done, and if you ever encounter a situation where your own life meanings clash with each other, you're in for a shit show, because that's what's happening to me right now. And I feel like absolute garbage. It's annoying, it's enraging, and it's frankly not the best feeling I've been feeling so far. But anyway, this is a 21-minute long video. I think it's quite meaningful. Haha, mind the pun. But yes, I'll see you, I think, tomorrow, and have a nice day.